Hey everyone, we are trying out our first flipped math lesson for lesson 1-13, which is the length of day project. Anytime we do a flipped math lesson, I want you to be watching the video with a partner, whether that's a mom or dad, brother, sister, or you're watching the video in class like today. So there's going to be a little blurb that pops up for you to write your name and your partner's name. We're going to try and keep these lessons to about 10 minutes of me talk time, along with the questions that'll be in your ed puzzles. So I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes, and hopefully we get in under that. So our lesson today is about length of day. And our target is I will be able to review telling time and find elapsed time. Now our mental math and our math message we will still do in class. So we're not going to worry about that at the moment. The first question that I want you and your partner to turn and talk about is, does the sun rise and set at the same time every day? What do you think about that? Does it rise and set at the same time every day? Here on page number 27, we have a data collection that we are going to be using according to my manual here all year long. And it simply has a date section, the time that the sun came up on that particular date, the time that the sun went down, and then the length of the day. And so we're going to be using this to record probably once a week. And since today is Tuesday, I guess we'll be recording every Tuesday. The information that this sheet is asking for. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is in your Google Classroom, I posted an announcement that's going to pop up right before we need it with a link to the sunrise and sunset times here in Hudson. So I can go ahead and use today's. Today is, I'm recording this is not the same day that you're watching this, so your data is going to be a little bit different than mine. But today's date is 9-23. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead and pull up my data. My first entry is 9-23. And sunrise this morning was at 7 a.m. That's my chart. 7 o'clock a.m. We know that the sun comes up in the morning, so I'm not going to write a.m. Sunset today will happen at 7:06 p.m. So again, I'm going to go here and write that. Now, how am I supposed to find length of day? What kind of math equation do you think I'm going to need to figure out length of day? I want you to turn and talk with your partner how it is that you're going to do that. Well, we know that the length of the day is 24 hours, right? From 12 o'clock midnight, 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m., we have 24 hours in the day. So what we want to do to figure out length of day is start with sunrise and count the hours up and followed with the minutes. So we started at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., noon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. So if I do this, I am up to 7 p.m. now, and I have 5, 10, 11, 12 hours. From 7 a.m. to 7:06 a.m., we can all do that math. 0 plus 6 equals 6. So we know that our length of day happens to be 12 hours and 6 minutes. The website link that I gave you also gives us that time right here. And it says 12 hours, 5 minutes. I'm guessing that means that since the sun went down at 7:06, it's 1 minute less. I wrote down 12 hours and 6 minutes. So we're going to be keeping data on this all year long on Tuesdays. And eventually we're going to hopefully see a difference in sunrise and sunset. We know that the longest day of the year happens to be on the solstice. And does anyone have any idea when that is? Go ahead and talk with your partner. Our shortest day of the year happens to be the winter solstice, which will be coming up this winter. Does anyone have any idea what day that is? Go ahead, turn and talk. So that is our sunrise, sunset that we will be working on this year. This is kind of an elapsed time, which means time that has gone by. And in Math Journal, page 26, if you want to open there now, I can give you an idea of what you're going to be doing. So on question number 1 here, and before I do that, it says use your toolkit clock to help you solve these problems. You can use one of the clocks that we have in class if you need help with that. Number 1, we'll try this one kind of as a group. So I want you to stop right now and make sure that you and your partner's math journal is open up to page number 26. We're looking at question 1. It says Ava leaves to go swimming at 4:05 and returns at 5:25. How long has she been gone? Again, when we're doing this elapsed time, if we simply start at our start time and then count up the hours first to the next available time, so 4:05, 1 hour later would be 5:05. So that's 1 hour. If I go 2 hours, it would be 6:05, and that's past when Ava returns. We know that it's going to be 1 hour. And now all we have to do is count the minutes. From 5 minutes, right here, up to 25 minutes. 5 to 25, I can do a subtraction. 25 minus 5 equals 20. So I know that 1 hour and 20 minutes is going to be my answer for question number 1. I'd like you and your partner to look at question number 2 together. Devin rides his bike 37 miles. He rides from 10:15 a.m. until 3:50 p.m. How long does it take him to ride 37 miles? Why don't you go ahead with your partner, talk about how to do question number 2 as a group and write your answer down. So again, if you and your partner went ahead and did this, you would know that we want to start at our hours, 10:15, and we're going to count up hours first. 11:15 in the morning, 12:15, now we're afternoon, 1:15, 2:15, 3:15. If you were counting, that would have been 5 hours. 5:15 or 3:15 to 3:50, we would simply do the math. 15 minus 15, we don't have a 0. 4, 10 minus 5 is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. 5 hours and 35 minutes. You'll be doing question number 3 on your own. Question number 4, you'll be doing on your own as well. After you are done, you have math box pages. I believe that we were able to get our lesson done within the 10-minute timer. So that's a great first start. Hopefully you and your partner will be able to go through this lesson together and able to do your math. If you have questions as you're going, make sure you ask me.